has $20. What is the greatest number of cupcakes he can buy? So we are given that the first 6 cupcakes is $1 each, and additional cupcakes cost 80 cents each. So let's draw it out. These first 6 cupcakes will cost you $1 each. Which means your first 6 cupcakes will cost you $6 in total. Remaining cupcake will cost you 80 cents each. Don't know how many cupcakes you get, but you know in total, sure he'll spend at most $20, which means for this blue part over here, he will spend 20 minus $6, which is $14. So how many cupcakes are there in this blue portion? We just have to take 14 divided by 80 cents. So if you key that into your calculator, you should get $17.5, which means that he can buy an additional 17 cupcakes at most. So here, 17 cupcakes at most. First part, 6 cupcakes. So in total, just be 17 plus 6, which should give you 23. Hence answer is 23. Both dancers are arranged in 4 rows. Each row has k more dancers than the row in front of it. There are 8k dancers in the second row. How many dancers are there altogether? Give your answer in terms of x in the simplest form. So we have 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the stage, which means this is the first row, second row, third row, fourth row. First information, there are 8k dancers in the second row. Here, there is 8k. Second information, each row has k more dancers than the row in front, which means the third row will have k more dancers than the second row. The fourth row will have k more dancers than the third row. Similarly, the second row will have k more dancers than the first row, which means the first row will be 8k minus k, which is 7k. Third row is 8k plus k, which is 9k. And fourth row is 9k plus k, which is 10k. Which means in total, it will just be 7k plus 8k plus 9k plus 10k. So in your calculator, just type 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10, and it should give you 34k. The average of all 3-digit numbers is 250. 2 of the numbers are 190 and 230. What is the largest number between the other 2 numbers? So for this, we'll make use of the time triangle. So T stands for good total, A stands for good average, and N stands for good number. So we're given that the average is 250. Average is 250. And you're given that there are 4 of such numbers. So firstly, you can go and find the total. It's just the average multiplied by the number of numbers. So it's 250 times 4, which should give you 1000. So we're given that there's 4 numbers, right? And they add up to 1000. The question gives you the first 2 numbers, and you're supposed to find the last 2 numbers such that you get the largest difference. So to get the largest difference, we have to find out what the smallest 3-digit number is. And that is, good, 100. So to find this last digit over here, just have to take 1000 minus 190 minus 230 minus 100. So this is the last number. So just key that into your calculator. Should get 480. Which means the last number over here is 480. Then what is the largest number between this? What is the largest difference between the other two numbers? It is just 480 minus 100, which is 380. Hence answer is 380. Next, the ratio of the number of angelfish to that of clownfish in an aquarium was 5:4 at first. After 3 clownfish were sold, the ratio of the number of angelfish to that of clownfish became 4:3. What was the total number of angelfish and clownfish in the aquarium at first? So we have angel, we have clown, we have at first, change, and in the end. So at first, ratio is 5 unit is to 4 unit. Change is 3 clownfish were sold. No difference to the angelfish. In the end, ratio is 4 unit is to 3 unit. So something should stand out to you by now about the angelfish particularly. There should be no change to angelfish, which means that the number of angelfish at first and in the end should be the same. And let's do that. So what you want to do is you want to times 4 to the first row and times 5 to the last row so that you get 20 units for angelfish, both at first and in the end. So let's do that. So create another table. So a new table, angel is to clown. We have at first, we have the change, and we have the in the end. So first row, whole thing times 4. 5 times 4 give you 20 units. 4 times 4 give you 16 units. Change remain the same. But the last row, we have to multiply the whole thing by 5. So 4 units times 5, 20 units. 3 units times 5, 15 units. Great. Now, angelfish is the same before and after, which should be the case because there's no changes to angelfish. So let's look at our clownfish now so we can solve the question. So if you look at the clownfish, the first was 16 units, in the end was 15 units, which means that the change was 16 units minus 15 units, which is 1 unit. And we're also given that the change is 3, which means that this 1 unit is actually 3. Cool? So now let's find the total number of angelfish and clownfish in the aquarium at first. Please note that after you manipulate this, you no longer need the first table. We'll just focus on the second table. So if you're going to find the total at first, it'll be 20 units plus 16 units, which is actually 36 units. So I can erase this. Initially at first, we have 36 units. So let's do that. Total at first is 36 units. So it will just be 36 times 3. Good. So that should give you 108. and hence answer is 108. Next, Lian had a bottle of syrup. She used an equal amount of syrup each day. At the end of the 12th day, 1/3 of the bottle was used. At the end of the 14th day, the amount of syrup left was 200 ml. What was the amount of syrup in the bottle at first? So let's look at this information over here. At the end of the 12th day, 1/3 of the bottle was left. So this 3 belongs to the bottle. This 1 unit belongs to what's left. So if you draw a model, 3 units. 2 units was used within 12 days, which means that to use up the whole bottle, how many days will it take? So 2 units will take 12 days to use up. 1 unit will just be 12 divided by 2, which is 6. And you're trying to find out how many days it will take to finish the bottle. So that's the total, which is 3 units. So there will just be 6 times 3, which is 18 days. It will take him 18 days to finish the whole bottle. And he tell you that at the end of the 14th day, the amount of syrup left was 200 ml, which means this 200 ml belongs to the last 4 days. Because let's recap, you need 18 days to finish the whole bottle. And they are telling you that by the end of the 14th day, the amount of syrup left was 200 ml, which means that he has 200 ml for the last 4 days, which is the 15th, 16th, 17th, and the 18th day. So, 4 days, he's able to finish 200 ml. And since we were also given that she used an equal amount of syrup each day, which means that 1 day it will just be 200 divided by 4, which will give you 50 ml. And since she will take 18 days to finish it, you will just take 18 times 50. And that should give you 900 ml. Hence the amount of syrup at first is 900 ml. Next, at the sale, Mr. Lim bought 10 mugs of the same kind. His sister bought 8 such mugs. She also bought 3 towels at $2.50 each. Altogether, she spent $2.30 less than Mr. Lim. What was the total amount of money Mr. Lim and his sister spent? So let's draw the model. We have Lim, we have sister. Lim bought 10 mugs. Sister bought 8. But she also bought 3 towels at $2.50 each. So if I draw this is $2.50. This $2.50. This $2.50. These are the 3 towels, which cost $2.50 each. Then you're also given that altogether she spent $2.30 less than Mr. Lim. So let me fill up the 1 units. Sister has spent 8 units because 8 mugs. Mr. Lim spent 10 units because he bought 10 mugs. Cool. So now I need to focus on the last 2 mugs. So this is all equal. This should be aligned like this. The first 8 mugs should align with each other. So let's focus on the last 2 mugs for Lim and for the sister. So can you see that 2 mugs actually cost you $2.50 plus $2.50 plus 250 plus 230. So 2 marks, which is also equivalent to 2 units. Just 250 plus 250 plus 250 plus 230. And that should give you 980. Let me just check. Yep, 980. So 1 mark will just cost you 980 divided by 2. Good. So it should cost you 490. What was the total amount that Mr. Lim and his sister spent? Is what the question wants. So the question mark is right smack at the side. So let's find out how much did Mr. Lim spend first. Mr. Lim spent on 10 marks, which is just 10 units. So just before 90 times 10. Good. There will be $49. Also given that the sister spent 230 less than Mr. Lim. So we can just take 49 minus 230. And that should give you 46.7. But we cannot stop there. We have to find out the total amount that Mr. Lim and sister spent. So let's do that. And that should give you 95.70. Hence answer is 95.70. Good. Next, in the square grid, two sides of a parallelogram ABCD has been drawn. Part A asks you to complete the drawing of the parallelogram. Parallelogram, there's two criteria. Opposite side must be of the same or different length. Good, same length. Second, opposite sides must also be parallel to each other. Parallel in this case means that the lines would never meet. Okay, let's try to draw our parallelogram. So can it be like this? No, right? Because D cannot be here, then it wouldn't be a parallelogram. Because A, B, C, D, which means that this must be joined here, you get a clock instead. So your D should actually be somewhere over here. And since there is 3 squares over here, let's draw 3 squares here. So it'll be here. So D will actually be right smack here. And we can just join our A and D together. And this will form our ABCD. So the naming is actually in clockwise. So A followed by B followed by C followed by D. We cannot anyhow name because it's just the convention. So let's follow the naming convention. Now please don't have so many lines. Let me just one clean straight line. Good. Try to draw as accurately as possible so we don't have these such ends. Okay. CB also forms one side of a triangle CBE, in which angle CBE is a right angle and CB is equals to BE. Complete the drawing of the triangle CBE within the grid. So we are given that this part is one of the sides of the triangle CBE. And angle CBE is a right angle. So here must be a right angle. Somewhere here. I'm just roughly drawing right now. We are also given that CB is equals to BE. So let's see how many squares it kind of spans across, and that's 5 squares. So I might want to extend until here. Let me just show you roughly how to draw it. While I'm trying it, you guys can also try it. Just trying so that it reaches the corner. Somewhere like this. So CB is supposed to be equals to BE. So what you can do is you can take out a ruler and you go and measure the length. That will be actually so much more accurate. Then just make sure that you have a right angle here. Then everything will be fine. Do I have a ruler with me? Okay, let's measure CB and BE. Okay, my CB is roughly 4 cm. And my BE is also roughly 4 cm. Good. So which means that my drawing should be accurate. And the last point you need to do is you have to label your point A. So don't forget to label. And this should be the final diagram. Good. Question 8. In the figure, ABCD is a parallelogram. CFD and EBF are straight lines. Angle CBE is equals to 150 degrees. Angle BCD is 45 degrees. Angle DBF is 20 degrees. And they ask you to find angle EBA. So just now what did we say about parallelograms? Is that opposite sides are parallel. And that of course opposite sides are also the same. We can label that too. Next, we are supposed to find angle EBA. So let's find this angle over here. Also given that CFD and EBF are straight line. EBF is here. CFD is here. Okay, so first step, let's find this orange angle over here. So that's angle CBF. So that will just be 180 degree minus 150 degree, which is 30 degree. Because we can use the angle on a straight line add up to 180 degree rule. Which means this guy is 30 degree. Next, we can use our interior angle rule because we are given that these two orange lines are parallel to each other. Which means that all the angles inside should add up to 180 degree. So ABD, we can just take 180 degree minus the remaining green angles, right? So minus 20 degree minus 30 degree minus 45 degree. And that should give you 85 degree. So this guy over here is 85. Let me just erase it. This is 85 degree. Now we can finally find EBA, which is what we want. So angle EBA, which is the red shaded ones, will just be 360. Why 360? Because angles at a point. So angles at this point all will add up to 360. Which means this plus this plus this plus this plus the red shaded one must add up to 360. So to find the red shaded ones, we can just take 360 minus the remaining angles, minus 20 minus 85. So just key it into your calculator. You should get 75 degrees. So answer for part A is 75 degrees. Let's do part B. Find angle BDA. BDA. So it's really labeled for us. You want to find this guy over here. So to do that, we can use our Z rule. So you should be able to see a Z by now. Let me just use yellow. This should be our Z. If you can see a Z, means that you can use the alternate angle rule, right? Which just states that the two angles inside the Z is equals to each other. So let me use green. This and this should be of the same angle, which means to find angle BDA, simply just have to take 20 degree plus 30 degree, since we are using the alternate angle rule. So answer is just 50 degree. Next, there are two numbers. One is 5 times the other. They have exactly 6 common factors. 3 of the common factors are 1, 2, and 9. Part A asks you, what are the other 2 common factors? And part B asks you, what are the 2 numbers? So we are given that 9 and 2 are 2 of the common factors. 1 is useless because everything has a common factor of 1. So let's make use of these 2 information. It just means that our 2 numbers must be a multiple of 2 and a multiple of 9. So multiple of 2 just means that our 2 numbers are both even numbers. Multiple of 9, we can do that. So let's find out our multiples of 9. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90. So our number is actually one of these 2 numbers. So the 2 numbers that we're trying to find is actually like found inside here. It may be more, who knows? But it's definitely a multiples of 9. And they must be even. So all those things there are actually cancelled. So we're actually left with this over here. So let's do it one by one. So if our first number is 18, our second number must be 5 times the first number, right? It's stated here. So we just take 18 times 5. It will actually just give us 90. Is it found inside here? It actually is found inside here. So we actually got our 2 numbers, which are actually 18 and 90. So we found our part B answer, which is 18 and 90. So now let's find out what are the other 3 common factors. So let's list our factors for 18 and list our factors for 90. So 18 will just be 1 times 18, 2 times 9, 3 times 6. Good. For 90 it will be 1 times 90, 2 times 45, 3 times 30, 4 cannot, 5 times 18, 6 times 15, 7 cannot, but 9 definitely can, so 9 times 10. Okay, so let's find out the common factors. Just be this, oops, this. Good. So what are the other 2 numbers? So we go one wrong. We have 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 18. We're given 1, 2, and 9 already, so the other 3 numbers are 3, 16, and 18. Good. So they already give you a comma, so you don't need to put in. Okay, next. A shop sold 3 brands of pens, bright, click, and dot. The bar graph shows the number of pens sold for each brand in one day. So whenever you have a bar graph, first thing you do is label. So bright pen, 60. So just draw a line all the way to your left. Not accurate. Click, just be 28. Okay, let's find out what one gap means first. So there are 5 gaps from this one gap, 2 gaps, 3 gaps, 4 gaps, 5 gaps. There are 5 gaps from 0 to 20. So 5 gaps give you 20. So one gap will give you 20 divided by 5, which is 4. Good. So just be a multiple of 4. So just be 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, followed by 40. So our click pen is actually 36, and our dot pen is actually 16. So how many pens were sold together? So just add them up. Bright plus click plus dot. So just be total. So 60 plus 36 plus 16. Please key that into your calculator. You should get 112. So answer for part A is 112. Let me write properly. Part A. Part B. The shop collected $270 from selling the pens. The prices of the bright click and dot pens were in the ratio 1:2:3. How much money was collected from selling the click pens? So we got bright, we got click, we got dot pens. So let me just write down bright, click, and dot pens down here too. So for bright, we managed to sell 60 pens, and the price is 1 unit. So we can just take 60 times 1 unit, which is 60 units. For click pens, managed to sell 36, and the price is 2 units. So let's take 36 times 2, which is 72 units. And for dot pens, we managed to sell 16, and the price is 3 units. So 16 times 3, that should give you 48 units. So these are all in terms of prices. So for bright, we managed to take 60 units. For click pens, we managed to earn 72 units from it. And for dot pens, we managed to earn 48 units from it. And the total will just be 60 plus 72 plus 48. So that should give you 180 units. And you're also given that the shop collected $270, which means this 180 units belongs to $270. So 1 unit will just be 270 divided by 180, and that should give you 150. How much money was collected from selling the click pens? So click pens, you earn 72 units from it. So it just be 150 times 72, which will give you $108. Hence answer for part B is $108. Question 11. 3 girls used the same number of beads to make necklaces. Devi used 2/5 of her beads, Esther used 3/4 of hers, and Farah used 2/3 of yours. They had a total of 1440 bits at first. How many bits did each girl use? So the very important information is they use the same number of bits, which means this 2 unit use is the same as 3 unit use, which is the same as this 2 unit use. So we have to draw a very accurate model. So DV has 5 units. Oops. Okay, cool. Esther used 3 out of 4 units. Okay, so these 2 units must be the same as the ones used by Esther and Farah. So Esther used 3 units. But in total she has 4 units. And Farah used 2 units also. Total she has 3 units. So the top is used, by the way, and the bottom is the total. So if you look at Devi used 2 units, in total she has 5 units. So Devi used 2 units, in total she has 5 units. So it should be how you draw the model. So in total, they have 1440 bits at first. How many bits did each girl use? So the most crucial information is that this part must be the same. But you can see that they are segmented differently, right? Here got 2 units, here got 3, here got 2. So let's make them the same. What's the lowest common multiple of 2 and 3? So it's 2 times 3, which is 6. So we can make these 2 parts all 6 units each. So this part can split into 3 each, 3 each, which means the remaining must split into 3 each also. Here we can split into 2 each, so remaining must split into 2 each too. Similarly for Farah, we can split 3 each. Cool, now all the units are all the same. Now we can go and find out what 1 unit represents. So let's find out how many units are there first. So all these are 1 unit. So let's find out how many units are there in total. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 15, 21, 23, 26, 29, 32, 32 units. So you go and count individually. There should be 32 units in total, and that should give you 1440. So 1 unit will just be 1440 divided by 32. That should give you 45. How many bits did each girl use? So we want to find out Devi, Esther, and Farah. So Esther herself, she has 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. She has 15 units. So it'll just be 45 times 15. That should give you 675. Esther herself has 3, 6, 8 units. So that's just be 45 times 8. Should give you 360. Last but not least, we have Farah, who has 9 units. So that's be 45 times 9. Should give you 405. So in the end, they should still add up to 1440. But individually, Devi used 675, Esther used 360, and Farah used 405. So let's write them in full form. Should I write them like this? So we have Devi, Esther, and Farah. But P and Q are two rectangular containers. The base area of P is 60 cm square, while that of Q is 40 cm square. At first, P contained water to a height of 32 cm, and Q was empty, as shown below. Part A asks you, what was the volume of the water at first? So let's recall. To find volume, the formula is always length times breadth times height. And length times breadth will give you the base area. So it's just base area times height. Why will length times breadth give you the base area? So let's look at it. This is your length. This is your breadth. So when you take length times breadth, you will get this part over here. And this part over here is actually your base area. So volume of water at first will be the base area. We are given that the base area is 60 cm square for P. And the height is 32. So we can just simply take 60 times 32. Let's key that. Should get 1920 cm cube. Which remember volume is in cube because there's three. It's made of three items: the length, the breadth, and the height. Which means that it will be cm to the power of 3. If you look at the area is made out of length times breadth. It's made of two things, which means that the units is cm square. So cm to the power of 2. We move on, part B. Rahim then poured some water from P to Q. After that, the height of the water level in P was twice that in Q. What was the new height of the water level in P? So we have 1920 cm cube of water to work with. We have to pour some into Q. Then now the height will just be twice in P than that of Q. So what we can do is that we can let the height here be 2 units, height here be 1 unit. Let's retrieve the information. Base area is 60 cm here. Base area of Q is 40 cm square. So the volume for P will just be 60. So okay, let me just recall for you. So volume of P will be length times breadth times height. Just now we did say that length times breadth gives you the base area. So just be base area times height. Given that base area is 60, height must be 2 units because you see that the height of water level in P was twice that in Q. So just be 60 times 2 units, which should give you 120 units. What about volume in cube? So same thing, base area times height. So we're given that the base area is 40, height is 1 unit. So we can just take 40 times 1 unit, which will give you 40 units. So the total volume will just be the volume in Q plus the volume in P. So 120 plus 40 should give you 160 units. And this 160 units should equal you to this 1920 cm cube. So 1 unit will just be 1920 divided by 160, which will actually give you 12. 1 unit is 12. What does the question want? What is the new height of the water level in P? Before we can find out the new height in P, we have to find out the volume in P. The volume in P is 120 units. So we just take 120 times 12, which will give you 1440 cm cube. So in the end, the volume in P is 1440 cm cube. See, initially it was 1920, now it's 14400. So initially it was this, but now it's this because you poured some water from P to Q. So naturally you have less water in P, which means that the height is going to differ also. So how do we find the height in P, the new height in P now? So one step of kind of thing. So we can see that volume is just base area times height, right? So the volume is 1440, which is base area times height. But given that the base area is, for P is 60. So to find height, we just have to take this divide by 60. So it will just be 24 cm. So part A answer is 1920 cm cube. Part B answer is 24 cm. Okay, some students might ask why I take 1440 divided by 60 in the very last step. So let me write properly. Let me write this thing properly again. So I given that the volume in P is the base area times the height, which is 1440. So how do I find the height, right? I'll divide 60 here. I'll divide 60 on the right hand side also. So 60 divided by 60, you cancel out. You're only left with height. 1440 divided by 60 give you 24. And that's why you're left with height equals to 24 cm. I hope that clarifies some of the doubts that you guys might have. We'll move on to the next question. A bakery and a library are 120 meters apart. They are located between Hong's house and Jaya's house as shown below. The bakery is exactly halfway in between the two houses. One day, Hong and Jaya started cycling from their houses at the same time, and they arrived at the library together. Jaya cycled at 70 meters per minute, while Hong cycled at a speed of 15 meters per minute faster than Jaya. A bakery and a library are 120 meters apart. They are located between Hong's house and Jaya's house as shown below. The bakery is exactly halfway in between the two houses. So bakery is halfway marked between Hong and Jaya. One day, Hong and Jaya started cycling from their houses at the same time. Jaya cycled at 70 meters per minute, while Hong cycled at a speed of 15 meters per minute, faster than Jaya. Part A asks you, how much further did Hong cycle than Jaya? Part B asks you, how far is Jaya's house from the library? Okay. So, bakery is halfway mark. So if I let the distance, here be 1 unit, here be 1 unit. So this part of the distance is the same part as this part of the distance. So part A requires you to imagine just a little bit. So let me emphasize, this blue part is equals to this blue part over here, because the bakery is right smack in the middle of the two houses. So they say that they arrived at the library together, right? So they are supposed to meet here, which means that Hong would have traveled 1 unit plus another 120 meters. and our JL on the other side wouldn't have traveled 1 unit, right? It's less than 1 unit because 1 unit is here. But the library is nearer to her home, which means that she traveled 120 less than 1 unit. So if I just draw this part, if this is 1 unit, she traveled 120 less than this 1 unit. So she only traveled this part. So just this part. So if you compare Hong and JR, right, I can bring this 120 up. I can just erase this 1 unit. It doesn't matter anymore. So if you compare Hong and JR, Hong actually traveled this much more than JR, right? Because JR only traveled this much. The one with a lot of lines. While Hong traveled this much. Which means that Hong traveled 120 plus 120 more than JR. And that's 240 meters. So part A is just 240 meters. Part B asks you, how far is JR's house from the library? Before we do that, let's recall our very good friend DST triangle. Can you guys tell me what does D stand for? Good, distance. S stands for speed. T stands for time. Good. Distance, speed, time. So it just means that speed times time will give you the distance. So now we know that the difference in distance from part A answer is just 240 meters. Because our dear Hong traveled 240 meters more than our dear Jia. We are also given that the difference in speed is actually 15 meters per minute. So now we can find our time taken. Let me write properly. So we can find our time taken, which is just distance divided by the speed will give you a time. So distance divided by speed will give you the time, which will just be 16 minutes. So both of them took 16 minutes. How far is Jaya's house from the library? So now we know that Jaya took 16 minutes. We also know her speed, which is 70 meters per minute. So we can find the distance that she took, right? Which is just speed times time. So distance Jaya traveled will just be 70 times 16. So that should give you 1120 meters. So answer is 1120 meters.
The figure shows an empty tank placed below two taps E and F. It takes 12 minutes to fill the tank with tap E alone and 8 minutes with tap F alone. Part A asks you, with only tap E turned on, what fraction of the tank will be filled in 1 minute? So you are given a 3D diagram here, but I'll draw a 2D one instead so that you guys can see it more clearly. So it says that with tap E alone, it takes 12 minutes to fill the tank. So if I split this into 12 parts, One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 parts here. After every 1 minute, it will fill up one part. Second minute, it fill up another part. So to fill up the whole entire tank, it will take 12 minutes. Now part A asks you, within 1 minute, what fraction of the tank can be filled, right? So within 1 minute, the tab E can only fill up one part out of the 12 parts. So which means that the fraction is simply 1/12. So part A is 1/12. What about part B? Now they tell you with an empty tank, how long does it take for both taps together to fill up 1/3 of the tank? So now you turn on both taps at the same time. So same logic, within every minute, like after every minute, tab E can fill up 1/12 of the tank. What about tab F? Tab F says that it can take tab F 8 minutes to fill up the whole tank. So if I draw the same diagram for tab F, I'll split into 8 parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So after every 1 minute, tab F will fill up 1/8 of the whole tank, because it requires 8 minutes for tank F, or for tab F to fill up the whole tank. So this is the 2nd minute, 3rd minute, 4th minute, 5th minute, 6th minute, 7th minute, 8th minute. So after the 8 minute, the whole tank will be filled up. But after 1 minute, only 1 out of 8 of the tank is filled up. Of course, after 2nd minute, 2 out of 8 of the tank is filled up, and so on. So if we can get that logic, we will try to solve the question now. So after every 1 minute, F can fill 8, right, of the whole tank, while E can fill up 1/12 of the whole tank. So in total, after every minute, if we on both tab E and F, we can fill up 1/12 plus 1/8 of the tank. So you just have to key that into your calculator. 1/12 plus 1/8 should give you 5/24. So after every minute, you can fill up another 5 out of 24 of the whole tank. Next keyword we have to know is that they ask you to give your answer in seconds. So 1 minute is actually 60 seconds. So now let's convert everything to seconds, which means that after 60 seconds, 5/24 of the tank is filled up. So how long will it take to fill up 1/3 of the tank? So 60 seconds, or 5/24 of the tank, you need 60 seconds. Now they ask you to find 1/3. So if you look at the denominator, they are different, right? So let's make them the same. 1/3, if I want a denominator of 24, I just times 8 to the bottom. Since I times 8 to the bottom, I also must times 8 to the top. So it's just 8/24. So we need to find out 8/24 of the tank. It will take up how much time? To do that, we have to find out what 1/24 of the tank takes. So it will just be 60 divided by 5. Good. So just focus on the numerator, since the denominator are all the same. So 60 divided by 5, that should give you 12. To find 8/24 of the tank, which is just 1/3, so it's just 1/3, which is what the question wants. Just have to take 8 times 12 seconds, and that should give you 96 seconds. And that's why answer for part B is 96 seconds. Okay. Wei Yang started a savings plan by putting 2 coins in a money box every day. Each coin was either a 20-cent or a 50-cent coin. His mother also put in a $1 coin every 7 days. The total value of the coins after 182 days was 133.90. Part A asks you, how many coins were there altogether? So if you put 2 coins in a money box every day, and you put it for 182 days. So for part A, let's find out how many coins did Wei Yang put in first. So to do that, like I said earlier, every day Wei Yang put in 2 coins. So after 182 days, Wei Yang will have placed 182 times 2 coins. Good, so that should just be 364 coins. Now we also have his mother over here. She put $1 coin into the box every 7 days. So let's find out the number of coins that the mom placed in. Okay, this is so much better. Okay, so the number of coins that mom put in. How do we find that? Well, given that she placed 1 coin every 7 days, and in total there were 182 days. So we just have to take 182 divided by 7. Good. So just take 182 divided by 7. That should give you 26. So the number of coins that mom put in is actually 26. So in total, what's the total number of coins placed in? Just the number of coins that Wei Yang put plus the number of coins that the mom put. So it's just 364 plus 26. 364 plus 26 should give you 390. Hence that's part A answer. How about part B answer? How many coins were 50-cent coins? So this one requires a bit of guess and check, or if not we can do another method, which I will do right now. So they want to find out the number of 50-cent coins, right? So I'll let all the coins, all the 364 coins that Wei Yang put in, be 20-cent coins. Because if I start with 20-cent coins, the first answer I end up with is actually the number of 50-cent coins. Okay, so next we have to subtract the coins that the mother put in, because we don't want 3 variables. We want to eliminate as many variables as we can, so that we work with less variables and it's easier for us. So the total value, we are told that is 133.90, right? So let's subtract the $1 coins that the mom put in. So the mom placed in 26 $1 coins. So if I take 133.90 minus 26, I get to find the total value of money that Wei Yang placed into his own box. So I don't want the mother's money anymore, I just want what Wei Yang has, so that I can find out how many 20-cent coins and how many 50-cent coins are there exactly. So we'll find out the total value of 50-cent and 20-cent coins, which is just the value of coins that Wei Yang placed in. So it will just be 133.90 minus these 26 $1 coins, which is just $26, which means we should get 107.90. So now if you let all 364 coins be 20-cent coins, what's the value of all the 20-cent coins? It will just be 364 times 20 cents. So in your calculator, you should type 364 times $0.20. So that whatever answer you get is in dollars instead of in cents, which is much easier to work with. So it should give you $72.80. So we look at the difference. We are supposed to get this amount, but we got this instead. So the first thing we need to do is to find a big difference. Big difference is usually the big numbers subtracting each other. You usually only get 2 big numbers, so we'll just subtract each other. And that will give you $35.10. Now we need to find a small difference, which is the difference between the 2 coins. So we have a 50-cent and a 20-cent coin. So the difference between the 50-cent coin and the 20-cent coin is just 30 cents. So now once you take the big difference divided by small difference, you actually find the number of 50-cent coins. It's just 35.10 divided by 0.3. So just key this into your calculator. Should get 117. So part B answer is 117. Part A answer is 390 with a dollar sign. 6 identical rectangular boxes can be stacked into a cardboard 0.9 meter wide. Two arrangements are shown below. The first arrangement in figure A leaves a 42 cm gap at the top. The second one in figure B leaves a 10 cm gap at the top and another gap at the side. Part A asks you, in the arrangement shown in figure B, what is the width of the gap at the side? And part B asks you, what is the height of the cardboard in meters? So we are given that the cardboard is 0.9 meter wide. So the width is 0.9, which means that the breadth of each rectangle is just 0.9 divided by 2, because we have two pieces of breadth right here. So the breadth is just 0.45 meter. 0.45 meter. Okay, so this is 0.45 meters. Be careful of the units, because we can see that in the diagram they are all given in cm. So to ensure that we are working with the right units, we'll convert everything to cm. So 0.45 meter to cm, how do you convert? 1 meter is how many cm? Is it 100 or is it 1000? Good, it's 100 cm. So to convert from meter to cm, you just times 100. So here just times 100. So when you times 100, you'll move the decimal point to the right. How many times? 2 times, because there are 2 zeros. So put a decimal point here, you are left with 45. So 0.45 meter is just simply 45 cm. Next, now we know that the breadth is 45 cm. So everything should be in cm, right? So this is 45 cm. So we look at the one on the right in figure B. The breadth must be 45 cm. Breadth 45 cm, breadth 45 cm. All the rectangles are same, which means that the breadth will all be the same. So now I'm going to do a very important thing. I'm going to highlight something in red, then we'll compare it. So you can see that the red boundary that I drew using the red highlighter, you can see that the one on the left in figure A has the same length as the one on the right. So length, I mean this orange guy here. Same, right? They're the same length. So now what we want to do is we want to find out this length over here, this orange guy. This orange guy will just be 45 plus 45 plus 45 plus 45 plus another 10 cm, right? So you can just punch that into your calculator, not literally punch. So the length will be 190 cm, which means here must also be 190 cm. So now we can find the length of the cup of the rectangle. So we can see that this part over here, this orange part over here, is made out of 2 lengths and 142 cm, which means that to find the length of the rectangle, we just have to take 190 minus 42. But that's not it, right? You still have to divide it by 2, so that you get 1 length instead of 2. So just 190 minus 42 divided by 2. So you should get 74 cm. Good. So now we know the length is 74 cm. So now we can go and find gap over here. This green guy. So how do we find this green guy? We know that the breadth is 45, 45, So the whole thing here is 90 cm. Let me write properly. You know that this whole thing here is 90 cm. You also know that the length of the rectangle is 74 cm. So to find the question mark, we just have to take 90 minus 74. So just be 90 minus 74 cm. So answer should be 16 cm for part A. And for part B, what is the height of the cardboard in meters? So this is a standing cardboard. It's a standing cardboard. Standing cupboard. Oops. You want the height. This part over here. The green part. So we know the orange part is 190. We just have to find this bottom, which is the length, right? Which is simply the length, right? The length of rectangle was 74 cm. Height of the cupboard, we just have to take this plus this. 190 plus 74. Height of cupboard, just 190 plus 74. So it should give you 264 cm. So answer is 264 cm. Good. Sorry, the question wants it in meters. So 264 cm, how do we convert it to meters? Before you can do that, can you guys tell me 1 meter is how many cm? Is it 100 or is it 1000? Good, it's 100 cm. So you can see from cm to meter, you have to divide it by 100. So from cm to meter, you have to divide it by 100. So put a decimal point here. Divide means the numbers become smaller, which means that your decimal point must move to the left. How many times is dependent by the number of zeros. So there's 2 zeros here. Back 2 times. So answer will be 2.64 meters. Of course, if you want to convert from meter to cm, it will be forward direction. So it will be times 100. So when you do conversion, right, sometimes it's also common sense. Whether it's times or divide, just imagine. So instead of divide, what if you times instead? So you go and times 100. You think that you have to times 100 to convert from cm to meter. So if you times 100 instead, you get 26400 meters, right? Which is ridiculous, right? Because a normal human height is probably just like 1.5 meters, 1.6 meters, 1.7, 1.8 meters. Then you imagine 264 cm. Will it equate to like such a big distance? It's impossible, right? So just, you can imagine things in real life, then you can also kind of decipher whether it's times or divide. Yeah. So sometimes math is really about common sense. We try to teach you math so that you can apply it in real world. Like how to count money, how to read the clock. These are all very useful skills. And that's why we learn math. 17. Lisa had a collection of stamps from Australia, France, and Japan. She had 124 stamps from Australia. 30% of her stamps were from France. She had 12 fewer stamps from Japan than from France. Part A asks you, what was the total number of stamps in Lisa's collection? And Part B asks you, Lisa's aunt gave her some stamps from France. Her total collection increased by 25%. What percentage of her collection was from France after that? So let's do Part A. Australia, there's 124 stamps. France takes up 30% of all her stamps. And last but not least, Japan takes up 12 fewer stamps than from France, which is just 30% minus 12 stamps. Of course, total must add up to 100%. So the total from Australia, France, and Japan is 124 plus 30% plus 30% minus 12. And to simplify things, 124 minus 12 will give you 112. 30% plus 30% will give you 60%. So the total is 112 plus 60%. But total also always equates to 100%. So now I minus 60% here, and minus 60% here. 60 minus 60 cancel out. So 112 just equates to 100% minus 60%, which is 40% of all the stems. So 40% of all the stems is 112. So to find the total number of stems, you always find what is 100%, right? So we know 40% is 112. To find 100%, we'll just take 112 divided by 40 times 100. So just key that into your calculator. You'll get 280. So there's 280 stems. What about part B? Lisa's aunt gave her some stems from France. Her total collection now increased by 25%. What percentage of her collection was from France after that? Okay, let's find out how many stems did Lisa have in total in the end. So total at first, just now we said in part A is 280, right? What about total in the end? So total at first was 100%. Now total in the end, what's the percentage? We are told that her total collection increased by 25%. So now it will be 100% plus this 25%. So now her total collection is 125% of her original collection. So of the original total. So original total is 280. Now the new collection is 125% of it. So you just have to key in your calculator, include a percentage sign. Then you should get 350. So now total in the end is 350. And if you look at the difference, the increase, why is there an increase? It's because Lisa's aunt gave her some stamps from France, right? Which means the increase was in France stamps. So there's an increase in the number of France stamps, but the number of Australia and Japan stamps definitely remain the same. So the increase, or the number of increase in France stamps, we just take the total in the end minus the total at the start, which is just 350 minus 280. So that should be 70. Question asks what percentage of her collection was from France. So we also have to find out how many stamps or how many France stamps were there at first. Then we can find the total number of France stamps in the end. So total number of France stamps at first was 30%. So we look back, was 30% of the stamps, right? Of the original number of stamps. So 30% of the number of stamps at first. So just 30% times 280 should give you 84. So now in the end, total number of France stamps will be the number of France stamps at first plus the increase. So it should give you 154. And to find out this percentage, we have to take, what's the formula? We have to take the number of France over the total times 100%. We are all doing in the end because the questions one after that. So total in the end was 350. So I'll do everything in green, was 350. France stamps, number of France stamps in the end is 154. So just do this times 100%. Key into your calculator, 154 over 350 times 100. Should get 44%. And so answer for part B is 44%. is kind of an overkill because we can see that there's a lot of working. Next, the figure shows a rectangular grass patch and an L-shaped footpath. The width of the footpath is 100 cm. The footpath is tiled using 38 circular tiles of diameter 50 cm, following the pattern shown below. Each tile is in contact with those next to it. Part A asks you, what is the area of the footpath that is not covered by the tiles? And part B asks you, what is the perimeter of the grass patch? So let's differentiate the diagram first. This is our grass patch, and we have a footpath right at the side. So this is where people walk. Shouldn't walk over the grass, is bad. So we are asked, what is the area of the footpath? So what is the area of this blue guy that is not covered by the tiles? So if you examine properly, these are all tiles, right? These circular are all tiles. So this space in between, the one in pink, is not covered by the tiles. So we are trying to find this pink area over here. This tiny little pink area over there. So to do part A, I will zoom into each individual circle. So if I were to draw a square around this circle, why is it a square and not a rectangle, right? It's because I'll do a very small. Here is the diameter. Here is also the diameter. So if I were to draw lines that touches the circle, it will be a square. If you understand what I mean, this whole thing is 100 cm, which means that this small yellow guy, this one, will just be 100 divided by 2, which is 50 cm. So here also 50, here also 50. So to find the square that's enclosing this one particular circular tile, we'll just take 50 times 50. So 50 cm times 50 cm. So there will be 2500 cm square. Now to find the area that is not covered by the tile, we'll take the orange guy. So it's the one I already draw, right? This orange guy minus the circle inside. So this black circle. Then we'll be able to find the pink parts, which is like the part that's not covered by the tiles. So to do that, let's find the area of the one circular tile. Area of circle. What's the formula? Is pi r square. So what's the radius in this case? The diameter is 50, so radius is just 50 divided by 2, which is 25. So it's 25 square times pi. Pi times 25 square. Sorry, I'm using my brother's calculator because he took mine and I have to find pi, which is right here. Okay. So it'll be 1963. Take note, the pi is to be taken to be 3.14. So don't be like me. Please replace your pi with 3.14 times 25 square. 3.14 times 25 square. So it should give you 1962.5. So the area of the black circle is 1962.5. The whole orange guy is 2500. So to find the pink guys, for one tile, it will just be 2500 minus 1962.5, which is 537.5. We have done it for one circular tile. We have to do it for all the remaining tiles. So we just have to find out how many tiles are there, how many circular tiles are there. Then we just take this number, multiply by it, and there will be our answer for part A. So how do we count the number of tiles? Okay, let me just bring this over. It's a bit small. Oops. I can hopefully zoom it out. Okay, great. So let's find the number of tiles. Number of tiles. Which are the circular looking things. So how many are there? We are given that there's 38 circular tiles of diameter 50 cm. Great. So we are given that there's 38. So we just have to take 537.5 times 38. And that will be our answer. So there will be 20425 cm square. Now part B.